Matt, a hard-fought point against a very technical MK Dons side. Your thoughts on that result, please?
On the result, I thought, in terms of the week, we win away at Bradford on Saturday, come home, get a point this week on Tuesday, so we probably would have taken the 4 from the 2. Do we leave it a little bit disappointed? Possibly. There were moments for sure that, especially in that opening 20 minutes, where I think the game today will stand us in really good stead. Change of shape, as we know, when we come up against a back 3, which we will in this league. There'll be lots of teams that play that back 3. And when we do come up against it, our press was slightly off in that first 20-25 minutes. And we spoke about that at half-time. We just needed to be a little bit more higher with it, and we didn't quite get that right. That experience of that will stand us in good stead against the teams that play a back 3 in this division as we move forward. And we knew it would be a completely different game from the Bradford one. So, barring that opening 15-20 minutes when we hadn't quite worked that out yet, and I thought during that period, you showed some real resilience, showed that real desire not to concede a goal, and then we grew into the game. And when our moments came, I think the offside goal is, Darren just said there, and if you think if it's VAR, I might get it. It's close, very, very close. And then the few other moments that we have there just didn't quite happen. Balls in the box didn't quite get across the front of the centre-back. Didn't quite land for us. You're even half thinking that Knowles one at the end, can that be the one that kind of just goes in or whatever? So when our moments came, we didn't quite. When their moments came, they didn't quite. And I think in between the rest of that, there was 2 teams that were desperate to give it all, basically, and I think they all left it out on there. So yeah, sometimes those points, those 0-0 points are not bad ones to keep moving forward and keep the momentum going.
A clean sheet, it's a really important one, as I know you always say, as a former defender, it's always nice to keep those. The defensive unit as a whole will get plenty of plaudits for that, but I thought Owen Evans was superb this evening.
Yeah, Owen doing Owen things, that's what he does. He's made some great saves for us. I thought there's so for him, brilliant. I thought his distribution was really good as well. And I think there's some really good defending in front of that too. So, as I say, barring that opening 15-20 minutes where we didn't quite get to terms with the way that they played and how we would press against that, it was good for me because I was able to get the information on this side closest to me, but we weren't able to get it on the far side. So barring that, I think as we grew into it and we got used to that and we saw what that was all about, we grew into the game, and then it became a bit of a ding-dong, and either team could have won the football match, so probably it was a good result to finish 0-0.
You've already mentioned it there in your first answer. 4 points from these 2 tough games on paper. When you look at them, you can say, go away to Bradford, it's a tough place to go. MK Dons, a real footballing side. Are you pleased with that return?
Yeah, we certainly are. Obviously, the game against Bradford, we thoroughly deserved the 3 points in that game, which then tees us up for this game. And of course we want to win our own games, of course we do. And I'll be lying if I said I was disappointed that we didn't, nick that goal. But on the flip of that, I have to be pragmatic to it and see that, it's that slight change of shape that we've had, that we've all seen. It took a little bit of time for us to get into the game with that. And then once we did, we started to express ourselves. I thought there were some great performances. I was gutted to have to take Remy off. I thought he had a fantastic game. And just tired towards the moment when it did. And I thought there were some great performances out there. I thought Freddie was involved in a right ding-dong with their centre-backs. And I think we spoke at half-time about how he can better affect their middle centre-back, because it was a bit of a strength off in that first half, and the boy Stewart's a strong lad. So for Freddie's education, again, I thought the way that he approached the second half was brilliant. And again, that game will stand him in good stead when he comes up against big, strong centre-backs as he did today. So, all in all, some real positives. Could we have just looked after it a little bit better? Yeah, that's some of the things we spoke about afterwards. But yeah, we have to be pleased with the resilience to take a point and a 0-0.
There's a couple of players who will obviously go under the radar. Ryan Sturt does it on a number of occasions, but I thought Joe Riley as well, he's come into the right back role in the last couple of games, and he's looked, calm and composed in that position.
Yeah, he has. I think his 1v1 defending's been brilliant as well. I think Joe feels at home in that right back slot. He's told me that a few times. I think it's where he played a lot of his football as a youth team player, so he definitely feels at home with that. He also gives us that little bit of composure on the football in those areas, so he's doing great. I thought the booking for Osh took a little bit out of his game. I thought, and he had to show, probably a better way of spinning that, he had to show that real discipline within his game to not go crashing into too many things for fear of getting that second booking, which was great that he showed that real discipline to not do that. And as you say, Ryan does his, Ryan's thing. So, yeah, it was an industrious performance from a few of them. As we've said, that little bit of quality. I thought Isaac was going to flash one in when he gets that shot off, and set the real tone. And it was ready to go at that point. But again, didn't quite go that side of the post for us today. And we move on with a point.
And this is now another performance for you to build on going into this weekend's game against Sutton, isn't it?
Yeah, another tough game. They keep coming thick and fast. We have a 3-game week with 3 league games in it. Then you want to come at the back end of it in positive points, which we started it well, and we want to finish the week well. But it'll be a tough ask. They're a good team going down to Sutton. They're not having the best of time of it, we know that, but they're a strong, powerful, well-organised team with a good manager who will certainly get fired up for the game. So we have to match that, and then we have to try and get our football in off the back of that.